Maybe you are looking forward to become a manager. Maybe you are promoted. Maybe you are going for a new job. And you're full of confidence. You have the experience. You know what you do. And yet I was in the same place as well several times before. And I wish I knew some of the common pitfalls that waited along the way. So in this video, we'll get right into them.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief.
Welcome to CrosswindsPilot. My name is Leifert, and on this channel we talk about structure, creativity and purpose for your business. You know what they say, you learn most from your mistakes and not necessarily from your successes. And for that reason alone, I'm looking at an experience I had that is actually 17 years into my career in financial services. What made this experience different for me is that it wasn't just the next job in my career, but it involved a new location, new people, and a product that I was yet not familiar with. To be perfectly honest, I underestimated some of those challenges. I was quite familiar with just managing a new team or maybe managing a new part of the business. And because of all these changes, I temporarily reverted back to what I do best, to structure business, to work with people, to develop people. But what I didn't notice at this point was that at the same time, things weren't going quite as well with our clients. To be honest, I focused on other things that were comfortable for me, and I completely missed some of the things that were really relevant, and I ended up focusing far too late and far too slowly on the things that really mattered. So I wondered, what is it that I can learn from those mistakes? And in this video, I'll share 5 pitfalls that you can avoid by watching this video. I'll also tell you at the end a sign whether you are on the correct path or not, so keep watching. You probably have gathered from my earlier comments that one thing to watch out for is what is actually changing. Is it just the job? Is it maybe the people? Are you changing location? Or are there multiple areas coming together? And it's very clear to me and others that the more things change in your new role, the more careful do you have to be to analyze those changes. Especially watch out for anything that has to do with cultural changes, anything that has to do with maybe being in another legislation. That's especially very relevant here in Europe, where you can do business in 5 or 6 different countries. And also whether you are in a completely new line of business and you have to get familiar with new terminology first. Pitfall number 2, you think you know a lot. And yes, you know your stuff. You have performed well, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten to this place. But the problem is you don't know what you don't know. And likely the people around you will actually know that. They know the business much better than you do. They know exactly what is relevant. So go and listen to them. And it's one of the toughest parts when you change jobs, when you change into a new manager role, to actually open up and listen to the people around you and listen actively for what are the things that they can teach you. Pitfall number 3, just the opposite of that. You think you know too little. You think you don't know enough about the process to get engaged. You think that other people know how to do the job properly, so you just oversee, you sit back, you just observe. But at some stage you might get a funny feeling. You think something isn't right, and I'll tell you, don't believe for a minute that you know too little. You probably know enough to justify that feeling, and you have to get engaged, otherwise you'll make the same mistake. You'll fall into the same trap, to not act fast enough. With that being said, it's quite easy to just jump in there and act right away. And I warn you against that too, because it's one of the common pitfalls. That's our number 4, acting too fast. Are people around you comfortable enough yet to stand up to you and tell you the truth? Because if they are not, then you may jump into some action and nobody will argue about it. Nobody will tell you whether you're right or wrong. So you need to be careful to act too quickly. If you have a sense that you need to do something, go and speak about it. Ask what would happen if we do this or the other. Which leads us to number 5, and that is the one that probably I was most taken aback by: acting too slowly. So something wasn't right. And yes, I didn't have all the information, but because so many things changed, I wanted to do what I do best rather than do what is necessary at that point in time. And you will face those challenges because the first few weeks in this new job will mean that you have to do a lot of things that you are uncomfortable with. You'll have to do a lot of things that you've done never before. Even if you know the business, even if you know all the people, things will be different. And it'll cause you to start acting slower than normal. Just make sure that if something isn't right, that you go in, have the discussion, and act fast enough on it. Not too fast, but make sure that you address the issues that actually are important in your business. Coming back to my story, because I didn't watch out for those 5 different pitfalls, I often reverted back to the things that I knew were comfortable to me. And this is what I promised you earlier. It's the ShoreTel sign whether you are on the right path. When you are a new manager, I can assure you, you will do more things that you don't want to do rather than what feels comfortable. You will do many things that you actually don't like. And you will have to act on many things that you feel you don't have enough information on. But when you do that, I can assure you, you are on the right path. So here are the action items for today. Ask yourself, what has actually changed? What are the new things in your role? Now make sure that you have an action plan that isn't too fast, that isn't too slow, and pay attention to what's going on around you. Do what's needed and not what you're good at. As always, I'm interested in your opinion, so if you started a new role, if you learned something in the process, please comment below. When you get value out of these videos, then I appreciate your like and subscribe, especially at this early phase of the channel. It'll greatly help us out to continue providing content for you. Thank you very much. Remember, in one of the first videos, and I will link it in the description below, we talked about having a structure in your life. In the next video, we will apply this structure to the work week, and I will show you how you can plan your week ahead so that you make sure that the most important task will be done. In the meantime, have a great week ahead. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.